presentation part, but normally we would just like to advise people that we are recording this. This is setting it up, so if you ask a question, or for some reason run up on stage and grab the mic, you will be recorded, so be ready for YouTube stardom. So yeah, we put them up on YouTube, we record all these. I think the Q&A's after as well. So yeah, I guess tonight, we have Laura Yu speaking, and she's from OCE, which is Ontario Centres for Excellence, and are nonprofit funded by the government to increase innovation in Ontario, to support entrepreneurs, and to connect them with innovative research from universities, colleges, and hospitals. So one of the cool things that Laura is working on right now is it's actually called the Small Business Innovation Challenge. And she's going to be here to talk to you about that today. Just before she jumps up here, the reason we're excited to have her speak with us today is because the Small Business Innovation Challenge is specifically about getting startups and small businesses to solve challenges faced by government. So that's like totally right up our alley. And we know the civic tech community is going to be really excited to hear what she has to say and how design, tech, and data can address civic and gov issues. So yeah, if you could welcome Laura Yu onto the stage.
Thank you very much to the organizer reaching out to me and inviting us to come and talk to you about our new program. Just before I get into the details of the new program, just wondering who here has heard of Ontario Centres of Excellence and know who we are, what we do? Oh, great. That's great. So for those of you that are not familiar, Patrick also mentioned we're a not-for-profit. Essentially, we are a funding organization, and we've been around for 30 years now. And we were first put into existence by the Ministry of Research, Innovation, and Science to bridge the gap between tech industry and academia. And why we existed was to kind of serve as that bridge between the two worlds, where tech companies can take advantage of the expertise and resources that's available in academia to help them and collaborate on developing and solving technical challenges that they may not have the expertise in-house or may not be able to afford that expertise in-house. So that's how we started, and fast forward 30 years today, that industry-academic collaboration continues to be some of the core funding programs that we offer at OCE. But we have gone on to create strategic initiatives, the Small Business Innovation Challenge being one of them, and others being the entrepreneurship pillar that I used to lead up before this new project. And if you're interested, happy to talk about that entrepreneurship pillar that we work on at OCE offline of this topic. So for those that are familiar with the Ontario Network of Entrepreneurs, OCE is part of that, as with 17 other regional innovation centers that we have across Ontario, so Mars being one of the 17, and there are others that are spread across the province that provides business advisory services to SMEs and startups in the community. Also part of the One Network is also the Small Business Enterprise Centers that are also spread across the province in various cities, and our academic institutions, which is also part of this network because they are the talent pool. That's where all the talent are coming out of our academic institution that our companies, growing companies that will hire someday. So some of the key industry sectors that OCE focuses in are these 4 sectors that I've shown here. And as technology becomes more multidisciplinary, these boundaries become more blurred. And so if anything that you can kind of attach technology to it, we can more or less fit it into one of these 4 sectors. And this is just a high-level overview of some of the funding programs that we have at OCE under the various pillars. And I won't go into those. This is not the most updated list either, because our programs continues to grow, and I would suggest that if you're interested, you can check out our website. So going into the focus of the presentation tonight, the Small Business Innovation Challenge was a new program that we launched March 1st, so just a couple of weeks ago. And the spirit and intent behind this program is that the government is interested to help SMEs, high growth technology SMEs in Ontario to grow. We have lots of SMEs in Toronto. They're doing great things and developing great new technologies, but they're not really growing to become medium and large-sized companies. And the government and all of us sitting here understands that innovation is what drives growth and new technology development. So the government wants to have a hand in supporting this growth, and that's why they developed the SPIC program. So it's to stimulate increased R&D spending in these high growth tech companies so that they can drive innovation, grow their market into other global market jurisdictions beyond just Canada or the US. And so while they're wanting to help companies grow, they're saying, well, we're helping you develop new technologies. Why not also use your technologies to help us solve problems that we have at home? And by at home, we mean the challenges that the government of Ontario has. And so as a result of that, we launched the program with 2 champion ministries. We refer them to as champion ministries because these are the ministries that kind of put up their hand and say, we have a challenge that needs solving, and we're looking for innovative technologies to help us solve those problems. So the idea is, if companies can help develop a technology that not only solves the problems that we have at home, but they can also commercialize that technology to other applications in other global public and private sectors globally, this is a win-win for all of us, because the company can grow into new market, and we also have new technologies that we can implement to solve challenges at home. And so the Ministry of Government Consumer Services, specifically their Service Ontario arm, is interested in a digital identity challenge, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about that in the next slide. And the second champion ministry is the Ministry of Transportation. So we launched the program with these 2 challenges. And as you might have seen, that the program is a 4-year program. So in the second year and moving forward, we would have new challenges from different champion ministry that we may post and look to the tech community for innovative solutions. So the digital identity challenge, and I'm sure all of you have experienced this when you want to access government service, whether it's get your driver's license or get your new health card, you go through this process where you have to prove to them that you are who you are before you can access their service. And each of these different departments has their own way of proving who you are, and also and their process don't talk to each other either. So it's complicated from the Ontarian's perspective that's trying to access these services, and at the same time it's very costly and inefficient for the ministry to manage all of these because they don't talk to each other, they have their own process. So what the government is looking for is a common, user-friendly, privacy-enabled way that for Ontarians to prove to the government once who they are, and then it will open up all kinds of government services that they may need to access. And again, this also solves that inefficiency problem on the government side. And the details, the full details of this problem statement is actually posted on our website under the Small Business Innovation Challenge, and I encourage you to kind of look at the details. The second one is the Vehicle Occupancy Detection Program issued by the Ministry of Transportation. So I'm sure all of us is aware and heard on the news in the last couple of months about the interest of turning the high occupancy, the vehicle lanes, the HOV lanes, into the hot lanes, the high occupancy toll lanes. And right now, the way to do it, you can get a permit from the city, and if you have a permit, you'll be able to drive down that HOV lane even though you don't. You only have one person driving in the car. So what they're looking for is, how can we automate the detection of the number of occupants in a vehicle without people getting a permit or without people just jumping on the HOV lane even if they only have one passenger? And how do they automate that detection and enforce it, and also attach to it the payment and the compliance? So if we detected that you have more than 2 passengers in a car, then it should automatically let you use the lane for free and you won't be billed. But if you detect that there's only one person in the car, then they want a way to automatically track that and also bill the owner of the car for using that HOT lane. So these are some of the features or expectations from the potential solution that they're looking for. So how do you apply to this program? So this program is for companies, technology-based companies that are incorporated in Ontario and has less than 500 employees. So it's a very broad spectrum. And they're obviously committed to commercialize the technology that they're developing in Ontario, again, creating that economic wealth for Ontario and all of us. And the technology that is to be developed also has to be scalable across multiple markets. So going back to when I first started about the spirit and intent of the program, this is about the government helping you grow and innovate the technology that you're developing. It's not about developing a solution so specific to the challenges that we are talking about here. But these challenges present a test bed for the companies to test, develop, and demonstrate their technology during that prototype iteration development stage. So the funding program is divided into two stages. The stage one is, we refer it to as the feasibility stage, and these are for technologies that are at the conceptual stage. And companies can apply for up to $100,000 for a maximum 6 months project, where the scope of the project would be about developing and demonstrating the technical merit and the commercialization opportunity for this concept that you're developing. And the second stage is called the product development and demonstration stage. So these are for technologies that are beyond the proof of concept stage. They're at prototyping stages at the various technology readiness level, TRL 3 up to 7. And the scope of the project that's up to 2 years long, it's about product development, prototyping and technology development, and also the commercialization path for these technologies. So SMEs can apply to OCE to cover 75% of the total project cost up to $1 million. And the company will match the other 25%. So one point that I should note that I haven't noted in the slides is that this is a reimbursement-based program. So what that means is you'll incur the development cost, and you'll send your financial report with proof of expenditures to OCE and on your total spending, and we'll reimburse 75% of the total project cost. Or at the feasibility stage, we'll reimburse at 100%. So these are just some bullet points on how you can use the funds. Mainly, they are devoted to technology development. And right now, there is an open call for applications from SMEs and startups on the two challenges that we have posted, and we're looking for expressions of interest. If you are a company and you have a solution that you think could solve any aspects of the challenges that are presented in the problem statements, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to learn more about your company and the technology and how it may fit with the program and the challenges that we're being presented. So after the expressions of interest are submitted, then there's a review process to shortlist the EOIs and invite applicants to submit a full proposal. We divided this into a two-stage process because there isn't sufficient funding to fund all good ideas or all good submissions. There is only sufficient funding to fund anywhere between 2 to 5 projects. And so that's why we are dividing this into a two-stage process to make better use of people's time. And one thing that I should point out, which is not in my slides, but it's definitely on our website, is the Digital Identity Challenge is only looking for projects in the product development and demonstration stage. So the Champion Ministry for the Digital Identity Challenge is not interested in technologies that's at the concept stage. Not that they don't want to know what innovative concepts are out there, but they are on a path to implement the solution in a short time frame. So that's why they're interested only in technologies that are beyond the proof of concept stage. But for the Ministry of Transportation Challenge, they're interested in both feasibility stage projects and the product development and demonstration projects. So if you have any questions about the program, you can contact myself. My contact number is here. If you go to our Small Business Innovation Challenge website, my contact information is also there. And I'm here and happy to talk to anyone that is interested. I'm actually interested to also talk to some of the people here from the city to learn more about the civic innovation group that's been newly put into place. So with that, that's all I have. And I'll pass it back to Patrick.
We have time for questions if anyone has any. Emily?